PCTV Health Talk Show. Please share the link, share it to a friend, tell a friend PCTV Health Talk Show is showing. Today we are about to discuss a very interesting topic, but before we start, I want to give a big thanks to God for making today a success. And I want to thank our mama, Apostle Mrs. Bernice Ajiman Prempe, for bringing PCTV to life. And our papalistic Papa. Papa, we say God bless you. Papa Mr. Ajiman Prempe, we say God richly bless you. And we want to say a very big thank you to our supporters who are supporting us to bring PCTV Health Talk Show to life. We say thank you so much. God bless you. As we are about to start, please share the link. Do not change it. Share the link to a friend. Follow the page, and you would learn a lot. Today we are coming to discuss anthrax infection. I'm sure you are asking yourself, what is this lady talking about? I've not heard it before. Anthrax infection. This is what we are coming to discuss today. And in our midst, we have a surgeon, a veterinary surgeon, who is coming to discuss it with us. Do not go away. Please stay and listen to it. My name is Elfreda Bokiti. We'll be right back. Welcome back to PCTV Health Talk Show. As I said earlier on, today we are coming to discuss anthrax infection. And in the house today, we have our doctor, Dr. George OSAFO. He's a veterinary surgeon and he's an adjunct lecturer. Doc, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for always honoring our invitation. Say God bless you so much.
It's a pleasure.
So, Doc, before we start the discussion, and me, I know you, but I think a lot of my viewers do not know you. So, I want you to briefly tell us about yourself.
Okay. My name is Dr. George Granting OSAFO. I am currently with Tema Animal Hospital, C Street Veterinary Limited, a sister company of Tema Animal Hospital, and I also lecture at Central University. I'm leaving Tema. I guess that is the introduction I can give for now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doc, and thank you for the good work you are doing. So, today we are coming to discuss anthrax infection. I know a lot of my viewers, some of them have not even heard of the name, and some also know the name, but they don't really know what anthrax infection is. So could you please enlighten us on what anthrax infection is?
Okay, so anthrax in its simple terms is a bacterial infection, and anthrax is a very serious and significant bacterial infection that affects both animals, that's mostly ruminants, that is goat, sheep, cattle, and also can be transferred to human beings.
Okay.
The reason why it's very important is, I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we go down, but it can also be used for bioterrorism. That means people who are targeting to do wicked with it, they can weaponize this bacteria, and it kills very badly, very fast.
Okay.
So it's something that is good that we are talking about.
Okay, so Doc, what really causes this anthrax infection? What causes it?
Okay, so as I said before, anthrax is by a bacteria called Anthracis bacillus, and it needs to get into your blood system to be able to what we call propagate and then infect your system, and it causes a lot of signs that we will talk about in details, but all of it is bad, all of it is something that will kill you. But one key thing about anthrax is it is like a body and a spirit, right? So if you get the anthrax bacteria, it doesn't mean that you are going to die immediately. It is when the toxins produced by that bacteria is released into your body. That is where you start showing that severe signs I'm talking about. So that's why I'm saying it's a body and a spirit kind of thing. So first you get the bacteria, but it takes 24 hours to 7 days. Then when the toxin is released, that is where the main problem is.
Okay.
Yeah, so
as I heard you earlier saying, animals that are susceptible to get cattle and
ruminants like cattle, sheep, and goats. Yeah.
Cattle, sheep, goats.
Yes, and then us too.
Us too. So like cats, dogs, are they also susceptible to having the anthrax?
Yeah, they do get it, but it's a very rare. They are more resistant towards the bacteria than the ruminants. Yes,
so it's more to the ruminants than other ones.
Yes.
Okay, so how is it transmitted from the ruminant, or let's say from the animal to the human?
Okay.
How is it transmitted?
So I want to add that because it's more towards the ruminant side, it is very cautious for us because we eat our sheep, our goat's meat, our sheep meat, and then our beef. So the way it's transmitted is 3 ways. Through inhalation, that means you breathe in the spores of the anthrax. Spores means it's a way the anthrax protects itself when it's outside the body of an animal or a mammal. It turns into something that prevents the harsh conditions of this world from killing it. So that is what spores are. If you inhale those spores, you can get the anthrax. If you eat a meat that is contaminated with the anthrax, you can also get.
So these are like the forms that
the way you can get
a human can get the anthrax infection.
Exactly. And then the last bit is anthrax hides in hide, the fur of these animals, and it can hide in it for a long time. Wele and all those people. Yes, can hide in it for a very long time. I think the highest that we have come across so far, or I have come across so far, is 60 years. Can even hide it in it for about 60 years. So it is that's the spores I'm talking about.
Yeah, so, that place is very hard.
Yeah, so it can enter the skin and stay there. So if you transport fur or hide from one place to the other, you can also be transmitting the anthrax, and that's what we call transmission by fomite. That's the scientific term. So that is the 3 ways: inhalation, injection, that's eating it, and then also getting the blood or spores through you being cut or an like opening of your skin, and that's where the hide comes in.
Does it mean that people who are handling, like you go to the butcher, like where they sell meat, and then they handle the meat with their bare hands, cutting it with their bare hands. So if the infection or the bacteria is hiding inside the hide of the let's say, let me use cow. That's what usually is, cow or goat. And it's hiding, and they are handling it with their raw hands. Is it possible that it can be transmitted?
Yeah, it is.
So let's say, if the person has a skin without a cut, is the person safe? Or if the person, like, usually infections or bacteria or virus, when you come into contact and you have a cut and the blood or the body fluid passes through your mucous membrane, it's very likely for you to have the infection.
Yes.
But sometimes if you don't have any cuts or anything, it's 50-50. You might be safe or you might not be safe. Is it the same to this? Let's say the butcher selling the meat has a cut, and let's say one butcher selling the meat has a cut, another butcher selling the meat doesn't have a cut. That aside, you, the individual that you've gone to buy it from the butcher, you, the individual that you've gone to buy it from the butcher, let's say you were doing something in the kitchen and you had a cut, but then because it's your own kitchen, your own knife, your own equipment, you just wash your hands with soap and water, then you continue to do your thing, you continue to cut your cow or dog meat, I said dog meat, goat meat, you continue to cut it into pieces, so that you cook it to make your stew or something. How is it? Because how can that affect? Because usually we do that most in the house. Ebia, uchucha jene, uchucha ne child. Now they so sometimes you tie that finger with maybe a cloth. But if the bleeding is not coming, you just wash it and you continue with what you are doing.
Okay.
And most of our mothers, how will I say it? They don't see it to be anything. Then they go and touch the meat and start cutting it. So how is the transmission and how is this going to? Can you please enlighten us?
So what you are talking about is the transmission through fomites. That means the fluid, the blood, whatever from the animal who is affected into the human being. And when it's, let me just put it out there, that doesn't mean that all meat. We are talking this specifically about
if it's infected.
It's infected with the anthrax bacteria. So anthrax bacteria, when you have micro cuts, everybody has it. I don't know if, I'm sure you have, when you put alcohol on your hand, you can still
sometimes
feel,
you may have cuts that you don't even know
exactly.
You didn't feel that something.
Yes. So when you are preparing something like that, and then let's say you have micro cuts and the fluid from the animal or the blood in this case gets into your blood system, if the spores are present in that blood, you will definitely have the bacteria in your system. This is where it's very important. So you rightfully said, the people who cut meat, the butchers and all that, they and us as veterinarians and the people who check meat and all are most
and even
likely,
we the individuals at home.
Yeah.
Because you go and buy meat from the market and meat, would you wear gloves to cut? You see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
would you say that it is right now? We don't know. You cannot tell whether the animal you are going to cook, whether it's infected or is not infected. You cannot tell.
Yeah, but
because you couldn't dada.
No, it depends on good.
So you cannot tell.
Yeah.
But when you cook such animal, does it kill the bacteria?
Okay, so anthrax is very hardy. It's very difficult to kill with just heat and just normal cooking. So even your normal cooking may not kill. Remember I told you that when the bacteria is exposed to the environment, it forms spores. And these spores, the hide I was telling you, are transported from outside the country through ship and everything. So there are veterinarians who go on the at the harbor who check those things to make sure that it's safe of anthrax. So it means that no matter how much you are going to heat it, you're not going to kill the spore, because the spore is very difficult to kill. It makes itself that way so that harsh weather conditions, including heating, does not affect it.
So if you boil it, it's not going to kill it?
No, it's not going to kill anthrax spores, no. Unless it has not turned into a spore. But as long as the spore formation has been done.
So when they check it and there is a, let's say they are shipping it and they check it and there is a spore, they take it out?
Yes, you completely burn it up. So there's even layers that you have to even burn and bury in that stage. So
what of this, when you are going to buy meat at the butcher's end, those like our nordness that sell the meat and they sell with the hide and everything, when you are going to buy meat, you see that thing, you want to have a bit of wele to go and cook your soup or something like that. Those people, how are they going to know that this animal has this infection? Because they kill it and they sell every single part. They don't, even if they see something, I don't know if they know, but how are they going to know? And then you, the individual buying it, I'm more concerned about we, the individual buying it, because I buy meat, I cook. You buy meat, you cook. All my viewers buy meat, they cook. When you go and buy the meat, you don't know that the meat is infected or not. Like, especially when you buy the hide. Is there anything that is going to show on it that shows that this meat is infected? Because I was then thinking, okay, if the meat is infected and you wash it and cook it, maybe it will kill the bacteria and it's safe for you to eat. But if in this case it gets to a stage where when you cook it, it may not kill the bacteria, but the bacteria will still stay, then how are we going to know? Because if we don't know and we cook it, it means you are in trouble.
All right.
Yeah.
So with animal meat, there are no specific things. Of course, normally as a woman or as somebody who cooks, when the meat is bad, you know that the meat is not wholesome.
Yeah.
But it is this question, the answer will be more of the prevention and caution part, where you need to know where you get the meat from. That is why you don't have to buy meat from places you are not, it's not trusted. Because in abattoirs and in other places, they are checked for all these things.
Oh, okay.
And I think when we keep on, we will talk about the precautions that are done in the abattoirs.
Okay.
That means you don't kill an already dead animal. Unfortunately, some happen. But you have, in the abattoir, at least, if it's from a meat from that source, that is made sure that it doesn't happen. And if you are doing it at home, there are signs in the animal that shows that this animal might have this bacteria. Hence, you don't even slaughter at all. You don't open at all. Because if you open, the bacteria now gets exposed to the environment. Spore formation forms, and that's what we are preventing.
Okay.
So it's more of where you are getting the meat from. If it is from a wholesome place, a place where it has been checked and made sure that it doesn't have any disease, so it can come to consumption, to the market, then that is where you are supposed to get your meat from.
Okay. Viewers, I'm learning a lot today, and I know you are also learning a lot today. We have to be very careful about where we buy our meat and how we prepare our meat and all of that. Today, Doc is here to enlighten us about a lot, and by the end of this show, we'll be able to know the kind of meat, how to buy, how to prepare and all of that. Please don't go. Stay tuned. Share the link, follow, tell a friend to tell another friend that PCTV Health Talk Show is showing. Don't go, we'll be right back. Welcome back to PCTV Health Talk Show. My name is Elfreda and we are discussing anthrax infection, and we are with Dr. George OSAFO. Doc, so we've discussed a lot. So now I want to find out, what are the signs and symptoms if an animal has the anthrax, and then if a human gets in contact, what is the signs and symptoms that is going to show?
Okay, so for the animals, it's actually very straightforward signs. So in the field, they will tell you that if you see an animal, a very healthy animal, let's say a day before, healthy, not assuming, eating well, body, we call it body score index, everything is fine. So that's an healthy animal. A healthy animal dies suddenly and is swollen up with blood coming out from every orifice. Orifice is holes, like your nose,
your ears,
mouth, everything. If you see that sign on the field, he just dies bloated with blood coming from all the orifices. That is a sign, or a possible sign, of anthrax.
Okay, Doc. I want you to put chi in this thing a little bit, because I know my mothers will be more interested to hear this, because this is a household something that most people have not paid attention. Personally, I've not even really paid attention. You buy your meat, you wash it with your hands, and you are good to go. And say, now the tree are far, so that my mothers at home will really understand. Now next time, when they are buying meat, they know how to go about it.
Okay. So I think I'll go through it again. So for Imwano, especially in Ponchini in Drano, and cattle, the now be when they say abua shwing yano, no one be beyond yan or healthy, no one ding, why I can see a fine, or muscle, the D, be okay. Then no suddenly owu a obeto ho suddenly whilst obey bloated obey kese asebi wahihye sa no na moja fi ni hole bia every hole
ase ne hwene na so ne no
moja eba moja enjai like it doesn't
continuously.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. It just a basa a friend of tarry blood. So unclotted tarry blood, it just keeps flowing. And no signs of anthrax. And usually, if I can say, yeah, in the northern region, and even I think this year or last year, late last year, it came around where people start having these signs of the cattle in the north. It keeps coming over the years because Mikacho is sports and it's very difficult to kill. So it's usually when there's rain, a lot of rain, and then it erodes the soil. Then the spores under the soil, no, it comes back into Mbwani Fidi, no, come more. Then they get the anthrax, and then the whole process starts. So it's something that in the north especially it comes and they know it. There are reports on it that any of our listeners can Google and find out that there has been outbreaks over time. So very important. So who say science now? You don't open, you don't touch the animal. Offer veterinary surgeon or be confirm say no or be test B or be try na so kakra bi moja kakra bi beba no de aye sa test no or the test na confirm ya someone na your special way you bury on.
So it means if there are lots of cattle in one distance, then one suddenly dies, the veterinary checks and it's anthrax. The rest of them.
So that's a good thing about anthrax. Remember, I was talking about the body and the spirit, right? That means that unya anthrax now, it doesn't mean that you have the toxin yet. It takes 1 to 7 days. So, or confirming anthrax no in the head now, what you do is there antibiotics can take care of the bacteria, even in humans and also in animals. It's the timing. So when names say when you anthrax now, then what will happen is you'll be waiting, you think nothing is wrong. Then after that 1 week, the bacteria produces the toxin. Then now you are in trouble. You have the toxin. And the toxin is what causes the signs na maker. So be bloaty up, or be kesiye, na moja fi all orifices. So when you say na veterinary no confirming anthrax no, or the omu na beto companion so or be war more makani na. So no moon show signs of anthrax no. But na what we need there is all buried in a very special way. Obe two form obe buried in layers. So na sa we know obe the caustic chemical ni abe go so assumption because you perceive as much as possible
the body gets rotten down they'll start coming out, enter into the soil,
and then the whole process goes on again. So there are special ways to make sure say those things don't happen again.
So what of the human?
So for the human, the same thing. And this one, I actually have a story my professor shared with me. Or say there was a place or coin and everybody was eating, like the cattle were dying, so people thought a party.
And say, or Shana will be one we could
no match chum. So like will be brain, no match chum, no more to chum, no more party. But the into your call and they said, no, any year Jumano, on his knee ankle suddenly. Na ne uncle no we no call hospital hono mu say science na ne uncle why bloated moja if the same size na mbo ani nya no if all the orifices no mu say no this one it can be together so mu say all trim no mu say mbo na wu no to far sample no testing no mu say ampa anthrax no in humans in na obia okache medics no obia sunlight no obia pan very strong antibiotics. I'll say the mom is serious. I started him. So I'll say King no on crowd. Gene ne oh you ne trousers no on peso but with you the trousers na. Or my one the panny no because at that time no that toxin no ain't really Z in human being the same idea.
So I want to find out like with the human being no. like, is there any signs maybe you feel you have difficulty in breathing, you have rashes, or like, is there anything that will show before the sudden death will happen? Because maybe animal, no, you may not notice before you see
sudden death.
But with the human, like, is there anything that is going to show for, like, the body will cry for help, say be me tea, me ye phone, me stay, before the sudden death?
That's yes, there is. Anthrax and American toxins, no, you have 2 toxins, and I'm in person may call that scientific detail, no, but ne kun ne pa ne a lethal toxin, but you another one your friend no cutaneous toxin. All that means is it shows signs for skin. So when we say Krobi aba enwu, be kese black center, your friend eska, brofodini your friend eska, te be ba ewo body no ho. Started by on say kese na center na wu na ye kese pa ewo skin.
Be kese.
Be dark kese ewo skin na ewu center na wu like infimfin no.
Ewu na ye black. By the black. Side and side will still
active. As na when ya
infection,
ringworm na be sound.
That's how it looks
but
like.
But that's how it will look like. But no a very deep dark center. As a crust uprana bibi ekatasoa.
Okay. If you are upra and you are healing that.
You are healing sa crust na eba no. But no be a very deep darker in chrono say. So that is what eska is. So that's one of the signs I'll be first. Say the skin no ISR, because at that portion when you first half after that.
But sometimes maybe the person will not notice when say be a small infection or pet. Okay, and
that's where it becomes dangerous. So another thing is a stomach issue, but stomach issues are more. It's just now when you're diarrhea anyway.
But is it like a diarrhea that never stops? Like you have a diarrhea that's obeko private obeko injury, because usually say when you diarrhea now toilet injury that you start to resort to the hospital or pharmacy or something. But say short diarrhea there so far journey. So how is the diarrhea? Is it some that it continues for like 3 days or something, then it stops, or maybe after you eat the meat you have the diarrhea? How is it?
Okay, so it's the meat is contaminated with a bacteria. And as a na me kaka when say bacteria no causes a lot of what's the name? GI signs, GI bleeding. It's maybe when you diarrhea no as we did nam a bad. But a general signs like shut down specific to that we know how, because a general. Intina, I say we are careful about what you consume, especially from a reputable source, a source that you can confirm. Say you check it, meat and send what to me are consuming. Very important, because in a can a dangerous mom, but I want nam no unless I too late. It say who say maybe I ought to maybe I could turn and be. And wakwachi na bi no or chichi no se wo beto a I am more careful, because sports in for me a jam to me sports very very hardy.
So with the animal no you notice the sudden death with the bloating blood, yes. But also, is there anything you noticed before?
That is what makes
like the way I was asking of the human.
The human gradual process.
Human. So if you are ill, or I say you'll be having this feeling, feverish feeling that before the illness will full blown. Now you have that kind of. That's why I was asking that. Is there anything that is going to show in the human that will give you a sign, say, hospital and say baby? But with the animal, say you have a cattle farm or a sheep farm. You feed them all of the time, you take care of them all the time. Is there any specific thing that will make you know, say, maybe this particular cattle or this particular sheep has a problem?
So again, that is why the topic is the scary truth, because anthrax, it doesn't, for animals, that's the word sudden. It's ojina ho and there or you're fine, or the everything is okay. Ochina with those signs now, yaka found like the bloating and then the blood from all orifices. So there's nothing you see. All of us, you see just a healthy animal who is supposed to be no problem, no nothing, just dies immediately, bloats up, and then blood comes from all orifices. Blood that doesn't clot, then that means that so when you have bacterial infection, usually within the 1 week of any bacterial infection, nothing happens. You will carry it. It's the same with humans. You will carry the virus, you carry the bacteria, but signs be. But it do if an incubation period no. That is the time you get it to the time the signs start.
7 days.
7 days. It is a part 7 days in a pet. Then the sign now no, and unfortunately for animals no, sudden death. But human no, all the it take it some time. It take you some time for you to now to show that bleeding from all orifices and bloating and all that. It takes some time.
Yeah. Okay, so does it mean that with human, how it spread from human to human, it's also through the lungs, like the inhalation and all of that? So let's say if someone gets infected and you get closer to the person, because cough is not part of the signs that will show that the person has contracted the infection. So if inhalation doesn't mean if you are sitting by the person, the way I'm breathing and you are also breathing, like when you breathe in, when you breathe out, and I also breathe in and I breathe out, I can contract it without coughing, or I can contract it.
Okay, so it's not like a viral flu now as a cold, as a multi-hammer to the amount by coughing on you or anything like that. You have to get contact with the spores. Masamba back to the same spores. So inhalation now it is you breathing in the spores. So who make spores no cold more.
Is that directly you breathing it from the animal or from your fellow?
From the fomite. It's from the animal and from the fomite. What I think we will talk about it a little, but let me just chip it in.
Sure.
Bioterrorism can. Some people modify the spore. And see what it means is that, or the collab, now we're changing in here maybe about spore. Now my more dangerous.
Okay.
And then no say no
Is there any vaccination for that?
I think
It's better.
this one can pick.
Okay.
So it means we have to talk louder.
Louder.
So this one can.
But welcome back to PCTV Health Talk Show. If you are just joining, we are talking about anthrax infection. We've learned a lot today. And then the few I have to say is we have to be very careful about the meat we take. Those of us that we have livestock at home, like sheep, cows in the house, and we see that all of a sudden a sheep or a cow dies, then we want to slaughter the dead animal to eat so that it doesn't go waste. We have to be very careful because those animals may be infected with anthrax infection and we may not know. We'll inject it in our body and we would have a lot of side effects later. So any animal you see, especially the ruminants in the house, and it dies all of a sudden with blood flowing through the orifice, the nose, the mouth, the ears, please report to a veterinary doctor. Do not slaughter it and eat it, because you may not know the infection that killed the animal, because these animals may die all of a sudden. You may not know what caused it. So please call the attention of a veterinary officer, a veterinary doctor, if you have a large number of cattle, a large number of sheep in the house, so that they may be checked. If the others are infected, they may give treatment so that all of them wouldn't die all of a sudden. Do not slaughter a dead animal and eat. Doc,
Yeah.
so before we went on the break,
Yeah.
we were discussing about how the infection, we get it human to human and from animal to human. Could you please take us through again?
Okay. So I was saying that the way it works is you are supposed, the format is how the spore, it all boils down on how the spores get into your blood system. So it's the spores, as we previously explained, is as long as the anthrax bacteria gets exposed to light, it has to protect itself. So the protection is how it forms that spore that I've been saying. So spawn, when it gets into your blood system, then it will start becoming life again. So we are preventing that, and the way to prevent that is you don't inhale the spores, you don't eat the spores, or you don't get into contact with the spores, so that the blood or the animal's blood for you to get it. Human to human is not has not been researched to found, but you know that in America, so moja ekoka because of the bacteria, there's a chance that you can get it. But very important, say you prevent yourself or rightfully. If an animal suddenly dies, you don't say you want to save money, and so you kill the animal and eat. Because when these things get into your blood system, I wanted to add to your introduction that it causes death.
Yeah, it causes death.
Yes, you bleed like how I'm talking about the animals. You bleed from all the orifices, your mouth, your nose, and that is how you die. You don't want to die that way.
Very dangerous.
So it is very important that when you see this kind of signs, just as you rightfully said again, let a veterinary surgeon know. Then he can advise you. He knows how to handle the carcass, that's the dead animal, so that nobody gets infected with this bad and deadly disease.
Viewers, we've learned, we are still learning, and I've learned a lot today. I'm amazed with things I'm hearing. These are our daily life and daily activities we do in the house that we have no idea that those things can cause us our life. If you have any questions, please bring it on the comment section. Let's answer it for you. So, Doc, so talking about the carcass, that's like the dead body. If you have a sheep, a cow, and you wake up one Saturday morning and you notice that this cow, this sheep is dead with blood coming out from all the orifice, what do you do?
So the first point of contact is to move it from, or don't touch it actually. Forgive me for that. Don't touch it at all. Just inform or call your nearest veterinary surgeon. We have all been trained with the signs of these diseases, especially with anthrax, because of how deadly it is. So if you see that, just call a veterinary surgeon. When he comes over, all that he will do is the ear of the animal, the ear, he will cut just a part of it for small blood to come from that side. He will test it at the lab, confirm that it is anthrax. Then he will show you how to do the burial. Or you don't even have to involve yourself. They will do the burial themselves. They'll take the animal, they will see how to bury. But you don't open such an animal. You don't say that, oh, well, would they are soup.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. As soon as they see that, who chair, no, we're trying to see not just say, or they are young quite so that I'm not waste. You see that kind of thing.
Exactly. And as we said, the spores, you can't kill the spore with heat. So what the Sanamne here where you have given everybody who eats that meat, with the story I told you about the village, every person who eats it will get the anthrax bacteria in their body. So you don't do anything, you call the veterinary surgeon or the veterinary hospital near you. They will come, take the sample now and confirm. If it is that, there are steps on how to bury it so that it doesn't affect anybody when it decays under the soil, it doesn't affect anybody. So it's very important. I want to say it again. Call your veterinary surgeon around you. Let the surgeon come. When he comes and you tell him what happened, there's a high chance he will take that sample, check to confirm if it is it. There's a way that he can bury it for you.
Viewers, as Doc said, if you have a ruminant that dies all of a sudden, Maminka Chika. So, oh, Nimchi, and I say, goats, if you have a goat or a punching, thank you. So, when Nimchi and a punching, it will fee. Now, say, oh, that's sorry, say, Nimchi and a punching, it will just all of a sudden. Now, who say, Moja, if him na son. Baby, I took her, say, Moja, if you ha angel. Who say, a punchina, a home, I can say, Mickey, enumerate or the day before I would die, and not a punchino. It was okay. A punchini did the punchine yet your baby now. So sorry, I no panel. A punchine will all of a sudden away who saw ya. While whom Moja free him now, son, illuminating baby. Me pow cho. Men can say, Endra na punching in them, or you okay. And so we will be an piano and to chanity, Eddie and one quine. Me pacho. Don't do that. Cause name dear ma punching wooye. Cause a punchia and dra na punching dear go didi. I did chin ya punching woo a home, name dear cool now wako kuno. Now said the name quine because say a punching am no best saying. Don't do that, men yes sir. Because name dear cool a punchino. This is a doctor came. Say anthrax infection will be and you cool na. Now uko chanity now the new choir. You can be infected. A bit to me around mojim. Yare no bit to me a very dangerous, a bit to me cool. And me power cho who upon chin name chie. It will fear now who say a beer will all of a sudden. Do not say person I'm no best and to kuna crime. Your life is very important. Do not do that. Stay tuned. Don't go back. If you have any questions, Bring it on the comment section. Let's answer. We'll be right back. To PCTV Health Talk Show. My name is Elfreda and I'm here with Dr. George OSAFO. We are discussing anthrax infection. So please share the link. Tell a friend to tell another friend. Follow us because you are going to learn a lot of diseases that you can use to prevent yourself. Because there are lots of diseases you don't know and how to prevent it. So follow us every Sunday at 4 p.m. and learn a lot so that you stay safe and protect yourself from a lot of infection. Doc, so how do we, as in the individuals who buy meat outside, how do people who handle the meat, as in the butchers, how do people who rear the animal before the butchers go for it, and how do veterinarians, how do we all prevent ourselves from this? If we see an animal that has it, how do we prevent ourselves? If the animal die, how do we prevent ourselves?
Okay, so the way we protect ourselves, especially the first contact people, the people who handle these animals, farmers, veterinarians and all that, is first knowledge. As we are doing here, we are sharing the knowledge for everybody to learn about this disease. That's one. Secondly, if you are handling an animal you think is disease, is having an infection, please, protect your way of touching. If you wear gloves, so that when you are touching the animal, it's on your direct skin. You can't want them say, we may have micro cuts on our skin. It is a way to touching up one infected, also being. So you protect yourself by wearing gloves, or even gloves cry of fear, rubber. To make the rubber shower, sir. So now we need direct contact with the animal.
Okay, so does it mean say we as individual, as a me, makoto meats, makache, butchanis and patcho bewili kakramel koyen katin kwai. What I say? Me drew fear na me beye meats now. I should wear gloves to wash it.
Yes, you can, but that is like no benya that opportunity to have even gloves or know how to use it.
Okay.
So the best for that aspect of that question is where you get the meat from, and then how the people there have taken care of that meat. Because very important, I won't corner be on a fin near be breeding or now a bacteria also it lives in the soil. It is a baby acquire fin, you can still get the meat infected. So you buy from a reputable place I own veterinary surgeon, I check it, some meeting. So that's our place now. That is where you are supposed to be getting your meat from. But for more, I handle animals all the time. You just have to be more cautious. Now that you have the knowledge, the way you approach them when they are sick is very important. as a maybe farm manager and I say obia oye adwuma on farm who say science near describing now you don't just go and say oh abone wo na wakoso no mo atwe there be see how we sua no e say we jai now free veterinary surgeon no no hu send you to me confirm first say ANTRAX no confirm we are then watch us say na e be burial na e be to me be safe. And most importantly, do not kill and eat aboa owu without any explanation. Even in the abattoir, baby omukumbo akrano, they are not supposed to do that. The war also fear so all of a sudden and punch yourself and they win a chance and then they won't money there. I dare say which I near confirm what is going on, especially when you see the signs now. You can after ANTRAX one day.
So viewers, please be careful where you buy your meat. Don't buy meat anywhere. Men koto ninchina mana goat meat or kwanchen bia. Go to a big an abattoir, like a big place where the sanitation of the place is very neat. Those places are places where you should buy the meat. Don't go and buy it behind your house where the butcher has put in the meat on the ground, the meat is not neat and all of that. Please protect yourself. Don't buy meat anywhere. And if possible and you can get gloves, always try to wear it when you're handling a ruminant in the house, even when you're preparing it and all of that. If it's possible to get it, wear it and use it. But particularly, be careful where you buy meat. Don't just buy meat anywhere, because those places and the way they handle the meat can cost your life. Doc, so I want to find out, is there any vaccination for animals? Because it starts from the animals before it gets to we the human beings. So is there any vaccination that like they give to the animal maybe yearly or monthly that could prevent them from getting those infections?
Okay, so for every bacteria, yes, and this one, they have vaccines that are produced, but it is not too common in our settings. And another thing too is that because of how it is and the fact that you don't know, like in the very endemic patches, maybe a Thai seems enough now may come. That is where they may need that vaccines to be given maybe yearly, but in our settings now it's not too common. But one thing about ANTRAX is that when you get that bacterial infection, antibiotics can treat it. It is important to note antibiotics.
That's when it's seen earlier.
That is why I was coming to. The timeline is the problem. That is why we need. And I say when your toxins in producing so your antitoxins, but as I said, any common in your system. So in this zoonotic disease is transfer from animals to humans. Prevention is truly better than cure. If you can prevent getting access to it, you are safer. And I want to ask, Rebecca say, okay, say, what's the meaning careful about why I buy my meat? What about the people who chop bars and we know cookie meat and I'm assuming
so
say so and also important say so it's all boils down to what you are eating.
Yeah, and where you are eating.
Where you are, it's very important to take notice of those things. What do you say? The pakuna godino on the supply you don't know. It is a whole cold horse and you have to be careful.
The sanitation of the place,
the sanitation, the place, the way the person handles their food, the preparation and all that. It's important to note these things because now there's a chance that you may get it without even knowing. And the people who do those restaurants and all that, so you are the ones that are the main targets because obi mwa onka say mimbo will say okay Marco Barium because sika you know the year one. So you find a way to be able to get something from that, right? And that is the butcher, the restaurants, the chop bars, because the whole normal talk number so otherwise always very cheap. Over time of 4 you are going to infect people in a large number and you're going to kill a lot of people. So if you get any source of meat, a supply now on trust there, let it go. As much as it's cheap, let it go and protect the people who consume your food. It is something that we have to really talk about because many people comment the way they be an meat, the time it takes and
Sometimes you may want to buy
want to
outside.
buy outside. So that's also an advice that we want to give to.
Okay, I think there's something I didn't ask you. So we spoke about the infection, like entering into the hide and forming inside the hide. Yeah, the spore inside the hide. So if I go to the butcher and I say mempe will me pay meeting kwa, am I safe or I'm still not safe?
Okay. You are still not safe because there is blood vessels in the meat, and that is anthrax needs blood. The spores formation will be in the blood.
Okay.
All what we are saying is that it's just preventing itself from dying. So anywhere that it can form a spore, that is very hard to kill. That's why he will do it. So the meat, the hide.
Okay, but in the hide there are still blood vessels in the meat, but on the hide they are formed, they are stick there. So in just the meat, if the meat, just the meat without the hide is cooked, can it be safe?
That is if the bacteria you are killing is like active in the blood vessels.
Because
you can kill the but when it's forming spores, the heat doesn't.
Almost forming spores no will hide no so.
Either
now you take the hide
meat
away. Just not can meat name kwa.
So either the hide or the meat. As long as
so
it's
far as say a forming what we learn so no. Ucha we learn chine now
you are still going to still at risk. Yes. Because it's spores. As long as it's on the hide or in the meat, it's still going to have. So maybe make way and may make more sense. The spore just forms when it's exposed.
Yeah.
It needs blood, like active blood cells
for it to grow. Yeah.
So immediately it's exposed without those active blood cells, it has to form into that spore. So the spore, the way of transmitting itself to any hide in a pattern, so they will even the hide near the issue it can be in it. It can test positive for.
Then you go and wear it because something that after it's been put in heat, it will not die.
Yes. So you wear it, you get pricked, you can get anthrax from that source too. So it is really something that that's why people, veterinarian and all other professionals are very key about making sure that it doesn't get into the public.
Yeah.
Because if it gets into the, you see how
it's
fast
it's very dangerous than other health conditions.
It can go anywhere. It can spread very widely.
Getting to learn about this condition, I'm getting to know that it is very, very, very dangerous, and the way of getting it is so simple because these things happen in our environment all the time. You know, we have a lot of people that they have goats in the house, they die all of a sudden and they want to use it to cook soup so that it doesn't get spoiled. Most people do that in the environment. That aside, we have chop bar, people who sell at the chop bar. They go and they are going to buy meat and they want the less expensive one. So let's say if they have they go to the chop, they go to where they buy the meat, and let's say the cow is already dead and they want to sell it fast. They'll go for the low price one.
Exactly.
So we eating outside, it means that we have to be very careful where we eat. We have to be very careful where we eat outside because we just don't go and eat anywhere. We feel like, oh, mommy, we didn't do anything there. Do you know where she gets the meat? Do you know whether the animal is dead or not dead? It means that we'll have to be very careful on that. And then viewers, please, as doctor said, this thing doesn't really show a lot of signs on your body. Apart from he spoke about the wounds on your body and all of that. And these things will come all of a sudden and it may knock you down all of a sudden and you may not wake up again. So this boils up to, if you are feeling anything in your body, you see any rash, you see anything, you have any uncomfortability in your body that you feel that it is abnormal, please report to the hospital because you may not know what is wrong with you. You can imagine if maybe you come in contact with this actual anthrax infection and you don't know, you just have some rashes on your skin, or cream be keke now they are yes now now you are doing free, so you may not know what is causing that rashes. You would think it's just the rashes. Then you just put any cream, it goes, you take your mind off, and later they find you lying down dead with blood coming out from your nose, your mouth, everywhere. It's very sad. So please, if you are not feeling well, or you see anything on your body that is not on your body, it's something strange, please report to the hospital. Don't go to the pharmacy, don't do self-treatment, because these petty things can cost our life. So please. So doc, as we are bringing this show to an end, I would want you to give us your last remark, last education on them, how to take care of ourselves, just burning in our offer, and give us an education so that we can end.
Yeah. So one thing that I would say as a conclusion to all this is, in dealing with anthrax, prevention is truly better than cure. And another thing is that when you get any animal from anywhere, and I think we didn't say this, you get it from the north, you get it from anywhere, as somebody dashing you or you buying an animal, please first quarantine it. Quarantine means that put it in a place different from where the other animals are. Within that 1 week, or let's say more than 2 weeks, you will see the signs. You will know that these animals or this badger is coming. It's problematic. And then you will be able to deal with that, so that it doesn't affect the rest of the animals that you may have. That is one thing that I didn't add, I want to chip in here. Let's be safe. Let's make sure that we get our meat first from the right place. We eat at places where we are not just comfortable, but we know that they are taking precautions for our health, and so that we can live healthy and become all that God wants us to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you for honoring our invitation and coming. Thank you. So viewers, as Doc has said, if you buy a goat from the northern region, they bring it to you. Don't say metal for a particular program. Now they are chef freezer, now they train program. Please quarantine it for at least a week, as Doc has said. At least a week. I know most of us will order goats and sheep and all of that, and when they come, we want to quickly kill it, put it in the freezer, and do the preparations for whatever thing we want to use it for, not knowing if the animal is infected or not. Please quarantine it. Let's take good care of ourselves. Let's protect ourselves. Let's go to the clinic, the hospital, if we have any problem, if we have any discomfort in our body. Let's seek for professional help. Let's stop doing over the counter and self-medication. Very important. Let's take care of ourselves. I want to see you next week, joining us, listening to more health condition and how to protect ourselves. So see you next week. Bye bye.